What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips, and you already know we're about to get it in, man. And the menudo style in a direct fashion. But before we do that, man, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bells on all, so that way you're directed, pushed into the direction of all the dope content that I'm kicking right here on this channel, as well as my other channel, man. Make sure you tap in, turn it up, get lit, do what you do, man. I appreciate all the support. Thank you guys so much. The fact remains, man, that I have to speak and spit some real. Everybody expects me to be crazy, to be funny, to be a certain way all the time. And I'm not going to lie, that is my attitude. My attitude in life is not carefree, and it's not careless, definitely. But it's more so, I'm happy. I've been inspired by a lot of people in my life, and I wanted to give flowers to one person in particular, man, because he changed my mindset in the way that I think. And I think this is going to touch him, this spill, because it's dedicated to him, for being that inspiration, and he doesn't even know it. But trip out. So, being a YouTuber, being a content creator, we do a lot of petty shit, man. We do a lot of things to make a lot of people laugh. And I get clowned on, I get capped on, man. I'm going to get ridiculed and persecuted, for my actions. But I ain't the only one that's ever been persecuted. So, I live day to day smiling, knowing that I'm bringing enlightenment to people, education, smiles, some type of clecha. And that's a good thing. That's a great thing. So I wanted to give my testimony a little bit here, because I think it's righteous. I think it needs to be done. I think it's about that time. I think everyone already knows, who watches me, understands that, I'm in grips. I have a personal relationship with my higher power. It's just the way it is, and I didn't do that in prison, particularly because of the label of the stigma that it gives you. A lot of people look at you if you turn towards the Lord, or if you start going to church or doing things out of the ordinary that they're not used to. You're going to get looked at differently. It's just the way it is. Homeboys that go in there with that mindset, they don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. They have that right mindset, because you're not supposed to care what other people think. You're supposed to worry about yourself and the persona that you're putting on. But the perception of people is key, man. That's how it is, especially when you're YouTubing and you're doing these things. And you're playing a character, or you are a character out there for the gente. The people expect a certain element. They expect me to be funny. They expect me to clown. They expect me to cap or and I digress. I don't like to do that all the time. But I am a funny guy when it comes to, I'm good with the one-liners. That's just how I've always been. But on my personal side, there's a lot more to me than you would think. Okay, so when we did that fight, man, that Gunner versus Cholo Trucker fight, there was a lot of different people that got involved in that fight behind the scenes. Big Joe respects, Big Paul respects, Big Rojo respects. These individuals are guys that were key into getting this whole thing popping, into making it happen. Mikey Salinas, man, respects. A lot of these individuals got involved and definitely did their part to make it happen, because one man can't make everything happen, Holmes. You could try and you could push, but at the end of the day, it takes a collective, a gathering of people of the same mindset to make things happen. But there was one person that was involved that actually inspired this content right here, and changed a lot of my mentality and a lot of my ways of thinking. And that was David Rocha, man, Sir Dino. I grew up gang banging, listening to Northern California rap music, listening to anything that inspired me to go out there and do dirt, put in work for the gente, man, believe in my cause. Because there were times, when it was hard to believe in something that you couldn't see, and you had to have faith, and you had to have a real grind to really be getting down on these California streets, and really be believing in what you believe. Now, you have to understand that Darkroom Familia at that time for me in the 90s, late 90s, 2000s, was that inspiration, was key to what I was doing. Everybody in Northern California, we were bumping the GUN album. We were bumping Darkroom Familia, Low Down out of Merced. I knew a lot of them cats. And respects to all them individuals. But the gangbanging element in Northern California and what we were doing was inspired a lot by rap music, was inspired by, what we seen and what we heard. And it was feel good. When you went out there and they're disrespecting or they're talking about hunting the opposition and posing threats and all that, we took that for reals, and we aspired to be that. And of course, Sir Dino at the time, Pastor David Rocha, definitely was one of the heavy hitters involved, meaning he was one of the main voices for the gente. Of course, in the Bay Area, they had Speedy Loke and different individual stars, the Limit Records. But in Northern California, in the Valley, we had Darkroom Familia. And they were nationwide, homie. It wasn't just Northern California that was bumping. There was vatos down south bumping. There was vatos in Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, all these different areas, the southwestern states, man. They pretty much had it on lock, man. They had it sold, meaning that everybody was bumping their music. There was even vatos in the club talking about sound, can't bump that shit. Yeah, you do, homie. When I really got to sit down and conversate with Sir Dino at that Gunners Collective Cholo Trucker fight, that was my first time interacting with that man. And everything that I thought he was plus some. Very inspirational in the way he talked, the way he listened. That's more so to me how I judge a man, by not only the way he speaks, but the way he listens. If he seems disinterested and preoccupied, homie, and he's doing other things, then it's kind of like, it was a conversation, homie, but I felt like I was fucking jacking off or talking to myself. But this guy was very into the conversation, man, and we had a great one. We actually got to sit down at a steak dinner and the night before the fight and talk, really conversate, really get to know each other. He told me he was a supporter of my channel at that time, and I was definitely a support in his ministry and what he was doing. Because a changed man is a great man. You have to elevate the game. Everyone says it, even in the rap game, these rappers, they're constantly trying to elevate, their persona, the game, their bag, their lifestyle. Everyone's trying to get ahead rather than going backwards. There's no room to fucking do a U-turn. That's it. It's straight ahead or nothing. And little unbeknownst to him, and I've never got to sit down and really tell him, that one conversation changed me. It sparked a flame in my heart, Holmes. It changed my mentality that maybe if this man who was so hardcore in the game, who propelled so many different young Northerners and Norteños to get in the game or do what they did, could change his life for the better, man, could, instead of bringing people down and sucking them into the abyss, Holmes, could help them to open their mind and broaden their horizons and change their life. Maybe, I could do something. I already was trying to inspire the raza to do better so they knew better. I've already been trying to, unite people together, whether it be just a simple conversation, some enlightenment, some education, or to kick back and just, kick some old school war stories. It is what it is. But I definitely try to bring the gente, because we're all brown, black, white, I got love for everyone, together, because there's a lot of things that we have similarities and we're familiar with rather than a lot of differences. We're told that there's a lot of differences. We're put in them boxes, Holmes. We're segregated, because that's the way the man wants it to be. But that ain't the way it really is. What it really is we're all the same, Holmes, and we all go through and we all have that same mentality. If you're in that gangbanging mentality or that game, and it doesn't matter, humans period, we're all the same. So anyways, having this conversation with him, he told me a lot of key things. We told some war stories, and we got familiar with a lot of the people we knew, and he was very good friends with my very good friend, Michael Hernandez, rest in peace, Boy Loco, from Darkroom Familia, Lowdown. And within those conversations, there was a lot of key points that he was making. And he wasn't making it necessarily in the words he was speaking, but in the way he was hearing me speak. And I remember thinking to myself, this Vato, Sir Dino, man, definitely is an inspiration to the youth. He's definitely an inspiration to the people because, if he could do it, anybody can. So based off that conversation, based off that interaction, that weekend, I went back, and of course, man, I still had the same mentality. I still, I got caught right up, socked some dude up, went to jail. But he was always in the back of my mind thinking and replaying the conversation we had. A couple weeks after that, he got a hold of me, hit me on the cellular, man. We sat down, did an interview. I have that posted on my channel. He has it posted on his channel. Great conversation. He brought out the best of me. But I was formulating my plot and my plan for not a switch over in what I've been doing, because I'm going to continue to be me, but toning things down and thinking about other people's feelings and other people's minds and what other people are going through, not just myself, being selfish and only trying to talk to hear myself speak, to push some positivity rather than just negativity or bullshit. So I wanted to kick my what's going on with me and why I've changed, why that one conversation inspired me to get in touch with my higher power and, get back to what I once was. When I was young, man, I come from a familia that's very hardworking, that although we did live in the ghetto and we didn't have much, man, we made do with what we fucking had. Mama made miracles every Thanksgiving, right? Pock shit. We definitely, all the welfare and food stamps were definitely a big part of it. We had what we had. And there was a lot of hard work being shown. There was a lot of positive male role models. My father not being one of them, being incarcerated half his life. But Theos that definitely got up 5 a.m. every morning, laced on them boots and put bread on the fucking table for their familias. These were my role models. Even though I chose to go the gangbanging route and I was more inspired by the hood and what was happening out there in the barrio, the drugs, the gangs, the women, I definitely, always came from a good family that had religious beliefs. We were heavy Catholics. I did catechism, school, my first confirmation, my Holy Communion. I was all involved. And to me, religion is religion, man. I don't like to get really into it because people are going to feel how they feel, and there's going to be a conversation that's going to veer left when it should go right. But at the end of the day, I'm a true believer. But I never displayed that. I let the gangs and my mentality and me trying to prove myself to be that badass and gain respect in the hood and the barrio come before everything else. And as a grown man and no longer being affiliated or part of that, I realized that I had to get right with myself. I had to get right with my higher power. So this is my testimony. As a young kid, like I said, I come from a great family that had, morals and values and put rules and regulations down. But we never paid attention. Myself, my brother, a lot of the family members never paid attention because we thought it was bullshit. Just like any other kid does nowadays. They want to run their own program. They want to do their own thing. You're not trying to hear what the old heads are saying, But they were rocking the truth, man. They were giving me the truth. And now that I'm older, I try to tell the same thing to my children and to other people that I see going down that wrong path. And they ain't trying to hear me though, like a motherfucking song. But, and you don't hear me though. But let me tell you something. In real life, sometimes, and it's never too late, you're older when you fucking, the light bulb goes off in your head and you realize that they were right all along. That maybe religion is what I needed. Maybe I needed to get in grips and have conversations with my higher power. Maybe that's what I needed. With the end times coming, with all the different chaos and shit going on in this world, man, now's the time. But I've been steadily working on it. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I'm into the Bible. My channel's going to convert into a Bible channel. No, but I believe that as an ex-gang member, as someone who's been in prison in and out, man, who's dealt with a lot of sly, slick, grimy individuals, who was one himself, I need to give back to the community. I need to give back to the gente. And what better to give back in my own words than, what has led me righteously to being a better person, being a religious person, being a person that knows when the time comes at the end, man, I'm locked in and loaded and ready to go where I go. But at the same time, I'm hoping I go somewhere good, man. Because we all have a chance. Any mistake you made in life, anything that you've done, man, can be forgiven if you ask for it. If you're a true believer, if you truly believe that you can be forgiven and that, there's a path that's been set, a light that's been, a door that's been opened and a light that's been turned on for you, then you could do it. That conversation with Sir Dino definitely enlightened me into the aspect of having that. Like he told me, man, he's like, you're the only one that doesn't realize what you're going through. You have all these Christians around you. I got a homeboy from the old school, one of my good homeboys. We were in YA together. Nellis pulled up on the same bus. He actually went to the Cholo Trucker fight, was in my corners. My good homeboy, that Sanjo, like a brother to me, right? We still are in fucking, we still have conversations. We're still in correspondence. We still talk all the time. It's my camarada right there, my taita, my good homeboy, one of my only good homeboys. He was there with me, and he's Christian. He's into the Bible, and he does his thing, and he still rocks, man. He still lives his life and raises his family righteously and works and does his thing and helps the youth. But he was there, and his homeboy came to Sakura, and he was a Christian, and it seemed like I had nothing but the word around me, man. God was with me, but I wasn't paying attention. He enlightened me to that, Sir Dino. He brought that to my attention, and I had to sit back and think, yeah, that's right. So I'm truly a blessed person. I've been through a lot. I shouldn't be here, gente. You know, I shouldn't be on the streets. I shouldn't be having freedom. There's a lot of other people that are incarcerated that deserve freedom before I do. But at the same time, you know, I'm here to serve the purpose of the people and the purpose of myself and God's purpose. And the purpose is, if I could help, if I could acknowledge, you know, if I could change the ways of thinking in man, then, hey, I'm going to try to do that. Straight up, facts. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say I go to church every single Sunday. I try to be a better man. I think that conversation that I had with Dino definitely opened my eyes, changed me as a person, made me where I was a solemn, more aggressive, I don't give a fuck attitude type person. It changed my ways of thinking where now I'm more open to conversation with other people. I don't hate nobody, you know. I try to steer away from the drama. I mean, it's YouTube, man. Drama sells. This is what we're doing. You're going to hear me have fun, clown a little bit. But I try to stay about the beefs, man. I don't care who's going in on me, what they got to say, how they say it, how good their delivery is, what thumbnails they put up of me. I'm not going to engage because I choose not to. It's not because I'm scared or I'm a punk or I'm a sucker, man. You know, I think engaging with frivolous bullshit on YouTube anyways is bullshit. You know, if you're going to engage in vida, man, in life, in real life. Engage in helping people rather than bringing people down. So that's what I choose to do, man. And I got to thank, you know, David Rocha, Pastor David Rocha, for doing that, you know, for helping me. You know, he's helped me pretty much my whole life. You know, as a young gang member, he helped me to be someone I thought I was. He inspired me by his wordplay, by his game, his rap, you know. And at that time in my life, that's what I needed. I needed a big homie, or I needed, you know, a homeboy to clutch on me up, game me up. And he did that through his music. And now as a grown man, older in life, he has changed his life. And that's inspirational to me, and it's helping me to change mine. You know, don't sleep on the gun. Don't think I'm some poop butt, sorry motherfucker, scary dude, because that's not it. I'm just more humbled. I'm self-contained. I'm more, I practice stability, and I practice, you know, hold up, wait a minute. I practice, you know, being humble, you know, staying strong and being humble in my beliefs. God has definitely changed me, you know, that and the conversation that I had with Sir Dino, you know, I thank him tremendously for that. You know, a lot of these people that have made videos about me that don't like me for one reason or another, man, I don't wish bad upon them. Even now, to this day, man. And I know there's going to be, this dude's a punk, he's a sucker, he's scared, I ran him off the yard, or I did this, I did that, and then none of that happened. It's all make-believe, you know, none of that, it's all frivolous wordplay, but to each their own. If that's what they truly want to believe, you know, I hope many blessings and prayers. I say prayers for my enemies, man. I don't say prayers for my friends. You know what I mean? They're already blessed because they fuck with your boy. I say prayers for my enemies. I say prayers for those that don't like me or those that don't want nothing to do with me, man. Because at the end of the day, we could agree to disagree. But one thing we can never disagree on is that there's someone more higher than us, man, that we need the help to progress in life with. And that's what I'm doing. So I kind of wanted to just give my testimony on it. My life has changed. And it took all the way up to that point. 43 years old, I think I was at the time. When I had that conversation, and that has changed me. Now I live my life more smooth. You know, there's no scariness or hate in the world, or I'm not. You know, I live my life how it's gonna be, and made the chips fall where they fall. You know what I mean? I come from nothing. I come from the ghetto, man. You know, I lived a tremendous life, meaning I've done a little bit of everything. You know, in and out of prison. I can't blame prison for my shortcomings, man. I put myself there. I think when a man understands that and realizes that he's responsible for his own actions, that's when you really truly become a real man. You know, my whole purpose in life now is to shed a light for the people, by the people, and also to raise my family and get my kids headed in the right direction so they don't have to go through the strife and struggles that I went through. And I believe only the higher power man can help me do that. And that's it. God, you know. We're in a rough time in life right now. We're at the end times, man. For those of you that try to play the role like you don't see it, man, open your fucking eyes wider. You know, don't squint like I do because I ain't got my glasses on. Because I'm going to tell you right now, righteously and real facts, if you're not prepared at the end, homes, if you're not prepared to protect your family and to go the distance, and if you're not prepared for what's to come, homes, then, you know what I mean, you're going to get what you got, and you don't want that. with that being said, you know, I want to thank again Sir Dino. Thank everyone who's come into my life, who's left my life, for all the inspiration that you've given me. I appreciate everybody. Them's facts, man, and we're going to continue to rock. Thank you guys for listening to my fucking babbling and my running my neck. Maybe someone could take this that's having a bad day and turn that frown upside down. You know what it is. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive to struggle and the struggle to strive. Oh, we're going to still have fun, though. That ain't you. God knows. God knows. He'll forgive me. I just pray. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in, man. And that's real. Gracias, David Rocha. Bang, bang. You don't even know.